gate, it's best to have rails on both sides of the steps.
Oh, yes.
Because you never know what hand might be full with something, or which hand you might have grip issues with. At least you'll have that choice. So you might also want to consider adding motion activated or light sensing fixtures at the entry, and especially along the path, so that you're never in the dark when entering or exiting your home.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Have somebody else do the work for you instead of having to remember to set the timer or whatever, and you can not have to fumble around. Those are all very reasonable, realistic solutions.
Mm-hmm. Also, a covered landing at the door will keep you out of the elements, which is always important.
You don't want to get drenched waiting to find your keys. This is true. This is true.
Well, so finally, if you need access for a wheelchair, you should consider carving out enough space for a building code compliant ramp, or investing in a lift that will get you up to threshold height.
Yes.
Lifts are also really great options for inside garages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen, I know when I took my CAPS courses recently, we looked at a lot of different ways to just, even if you have just one small step into the main part of the house, there are ways to lift that up so you don't have to have any step at all. It's almost like a mini ramp, just the segue from the sidewalk into the house. It was very interesting. I think as the baby boomers age, more and more innovative things will be developed that will help everyone. But and I think baby boomers will probably be the most adamant about getting them sooner than later. We don't have a lot of patience.
That's been the theme with baby boomers. They've been instrumental in bringing us. I mean, look how much innovation has happened just since the turn of the century up until now. So
yeah, absolutely. So, okay, that helps us with entries. Is there a ballpark estimate? I don't want to hold you to anything, but just what it might cost to redo an entry. It sounds like what you're recommending wouldn't cost a whole lot with lighting and things like that, unless it got into a ramp, which of course would be more expensive. But it seems like there are simple things that can be done that wouldn't cost a lot.
Yes, like simple things such as those light sensing fixtures. Those are just those they're on stakes. They're like solar lights. You just stake them right into the grass. You can put them along your path. You can get them at, the big box stores you can get like 4 packs or something for pretty good money. They last a few seasons. They're easy to replace. If you need to build a cover over your landing, like if you don't have a front porch or anything right now, then you're looking at something that's a little bit more expensive. But lighting and having a space for at least a chair near your door are going to be the easiest things to help you out.
And those are really simple solutions that some people may not have ever thought of, as having a bench or a chair right near the door. I mean, that makes perfect sense for anybody of any age, as far as I'm concerned. But those are very good solutions. Thank you, Allyson. What about if you need to remodel a kitchen? Obviously, that's going to be more expensive. But what are some things that can be done without having to do a whole remodel, and what can be done with a whole remodel, the two together?
Okay, so kitchens are one of the most important rooms to consider when remodeling. They're the hardest working room in your home and can also be where a lot of injuries and accidents occur. You can make reaching and moving about in your kitchen a breeze with easy access cabinet features, such as upper cabinets with counterbalance pull downs, or lower cabinets with rollout shelves and deep drawers, and turntables and corner cabinets. There are companies that can help you retrofit existing cabinets if you're on a budget. I think Cabinet Genie might be one of them. And then 3 types. You want to think about lighting in your kitchen if you're doing a full-scale remodel. If you don't have very good lighting now, think about lighting design. There's 3 types of lighting you want to think about. That's ambient, task, and accent lighting. Ambient light is most often like a central ceiling light or a series of recessed fixtures in your kitchen ceiling. That's like the general lighting that you'd flick on first right when you walk into the door. Examples of task lighting are fixtures that shine on work surfaces such as counters, stovetops, and sinks. A lot of people use like under cabinet lighting for that.
Yeah, I have. I can't live without under the cabinet.
Yeah, yeah.
I really have gotten so used to it. I love it.
And then finally, accent lighting is considered any small scale fixture that can be used to add an extra level of light, perhaps like a dimmable light above an in-kitchen eating area, or low level lighting that won't blind you in the middle of the night, such as toe kick lighting or lighting on top of upper cabinets that softly illuminate the ceiling.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and then to move on to other parts of the kitchen, for the sink, you might want to consider a pressure balanced faucet with a lever, touch, or sensor control, because they're easier to grasp than faucets with knobs. And also
go ahead. I'm sorry. I
was going to say the location of the sink is important. If you can get your sink located just down the line from a stovetop, it'll allow you to slide heavy boiling pots to the sink without lifting and carrying.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, what about these new faucets? Well, I don't know how new they are, but I've seen them where you just touch, or they're activated by motion and they turn on automatically, and you can adjust temperature. I know I've seen them in bathrooms, but what about for the kitchen? Are they is that a realistic solution, or do they break, or
no? The technology in that is getting better all the time. I mean, like you said, you've seen touch or sensor controls in public bathrooms for a really long time now. So they're coming into residential kitchens. They're great for when you have chicken hands. You can touch the faucet with the back of your hand.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. And then the sensor controls are just as easily used if you just block that sensor to get your water to turn on. They also those types also usually have a lever that you can operate manually, because that lever kind of sets up for you what the temperature of the water will be when it comes out.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, you don't want to yourself right off the bat.
Yeah, it's always good to make sure that you have your water heater set at less than 120 degrees so that you don't scald yourself wherever that lever might be.
And that goes if there's young children in the family, in the household. You don't want to burn them either, and unnecessarily. And if they decide they're going to turn the faucet on by themselves and play in the tub, then you have a problem unless the temperature is set correctly. I'm sure there are a lot of innovative kinds of things out there that people can use, and that you probably incorporate on a daily basis as you work with your clients. What are some of your favorite technology things that everybody talks about?
Specifically for the kitchen?
Well, for the kitchen, for the house itself in general, like Alexa, turn on the lights kind of thing.
I know, I love Alexa. Alexa, there's a lot of people are still wary of these Alexa type assistants, but I find that they're actually they're fun to interact with. They're helpful. They, like mine, I have her read my Kindle to me all the time. She'll take down your shopping list on demand. Like if you're cooking something, you can just shout over to her and say, "Hey, you need to add shallots to the list," or whatever. Like as you know that you need them. We use it all the time for that. But there's also like smart appliances now. So for appliances, you can get smartphone connected appliances, but the best models for aging in place kitchens are models with redundant queuing, such as ovens with alerts that make sounds and flashlights simultaneously, depending on if you have any sensory issues that might keep you from getting alert one way or another. Ranges and cooktops that have controls near the front are safer than models with controls on like the backsplash. And those usually have control locks on them, so that those types of models don't, that they keep curious little kids at bay with the buttons.
Well, we only have a few minutes left, and I know I want you to discuss bathrooms because so many people slip and fall in their bathroom, and it's a very dangerous place. So how can we make it safer by a remodel?
Oh, goodness. So I uncovered from the CDC that there's like 235,000 ER visits as a result of a bathroom injury every year, and that's for people anywhere from 15 years old plus.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone.
Oh no, it's a very dangerous place.
Yeah, so that's precisely why I don't think it's silly to have a phone installed in your bathroom, especially if you live alone.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people balk at that idea, but it's practical. So there's a lot I can say about the bathroom, but I'll just rifle off a few things. A zero-step shower with a collapsible seat and a textured floor will minimize the possibility of slips, trips, falls, and fatigue. And also, those zero-step showers are a stylish and desirable thing to have in your home from a resale standpoint.
Yes.
Yes. Everybody wants one. Also, digital shower controls outside of the shower allow you to see the temperature of the shower before you enter to prevent water that's shockingly cold or too hot. And then that goes back to the keep your water heater at 120 or less.
Well, you mentioned, and we only have a few minutes left, and I do want to get this in because it's important. You mentioned last time, and we didn't get to cover it, that you have a gift for the audience. And how can our listeners obtain it, and what is it exactly? And mention it to us and tell us how they can get it.
Oh, yes. I'm excited to let everyone know that on my website, counterpaininteriors.com, your listeners can digitally download a free guide that I called Thrive at Home, Quick and Easy Home Modifications for Staying in Place. It's a room-by-room guide that provides them with quick and easy, renovation-free tips to help them on their aging in place journey to get them started. It's also a great resource for them to take with them while shopping for a new home to downsize into. That goes back to your move or improve. And it can quickly be found at counterpaininteriors.com/guide, and that's counterpain spelled with a P-A-N-E.
P-A-N-E, counterpain or
counterpain, P-A-N-E, interiors.com.
That's very good. Well, Allyson, we've not spent enough time, but yet our time is up. And
there's so much.
I really enjoyed having you at both this session and the last session. And my next session will be about falls in the home. So this is a good segue from that to my topic. But I do appreciate your joining us, and I know we'll have to have you back again because you're a wealth of information, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
And this is Debbie Miller. I'm signing off for now, but join me on the next segment on falls in the home and how to prevent them. And you can reach me at moveorimprovewithdebbie@gmail.com. And I look forward to having you join me on the next session. Thank you.